Hey, folks, welcome to our YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook viewers to Cruise Chat Live. It's Sunday morning. It's Memorial Day weekend here in the U.S. We hope y'all are having an amazing day. For the next hour or so, we're going to talk all things cruising, cruise ships, cruise tours, cruise, you just name it, anything cruising. We're going to talk about it, and we'll do our very, very best to answer your questions. So welcome to our usual Sunday morning. For those of you who are new to the channel, I am Walter, your independent travel advisor with Where's Walter Travel. As always, my lovely wife, Rebecca, is sitting right off camera. And we book everything from cruise, land, luxury, expedition. So whatever you want to do in this amazing world, we can probably help you with it. Hey, good morning, Robert. How are you? Good to see you. We've got Rick, Mary, Becky, Peggy, Benny. Good morning, all. And Sue, who is in training today. Oh my goodness, you're in training today. Hey, Eric, you're awake. Good morning. Good to see you. And Benny is reminding us it is 146 days till the Sun Princess. If anybody would like to join us, there is still space available on the Sun Princess, the brand spanking new Sun Princess. What is the matter, Rebecca? You look like...
No, it's some weird noise.
Okay.
What it is.
Oh, it might be the fan.
I tried.
No, this one.
Oh,
maybe it's that fan. I don't know. But Rebecca said there's some weird noise happening on the TikTok side. I'll try turning the fan a little bit. It is really hot. It's in the 90s. It's muggy. So we've got fans going everywhere to try to deal with that.
That's not it.
That's not it? Okay. Well, then I don't know. She said there's like a weird noise going on that might be coming from the fans and whatnot. Did that help at all? So sorry if you're hearing some weird noise on
Are you all plugged in all tight and everything?
On what are you listening to?
I'm listening to TikTok.
TikTok. I don't know. Everything is plugged in. Everything is good. I don't know. It looks like we're doing good. How y'all doing? I see good signal all the way around. So
I don't know.
Okay. How's the sound, everybody out there? Is the sound good? Is the sound good out there to everybody?
I'm just extra picky.
Rebecca's hearing some weird noises going on.
It's like a hissy sort of background noise.
A hissy sort of background noise. That's probably going to be the fan. So.
It isn't.
Hi, everybody.
It isn't.
How y'all doing? Rebecca used to be a sound person, so that's why she's so incredibly picky about the sound. Hey, Andy, how you doing? Good to see you.
You turned off the fan. It didn't change the noise. You moved.
I didn't turn the fan off. No.
Yeah, I thought you did.
No, I just moved it. Oh. It sounds like a fan in the background. Yeah, you're probably hearing that one over there. So, all right, guys, how are you, everybody? So, again, let's start all over again. How you doing? Let's see.
Just really, turn it back on.
It is on.
Okay.
It is on. So. Oh my goodness, we have to get idiots on a weekend. Oh, I'm so sorry, folks, for those of you on TikTok.
It's a holiday. People have started drinking.
I guess you started drinking already. So how's everybody doing? So again, I'm Walter, your independent travel advisor. We're going to be talking cruising for about the next hour or so, answering as many questions as we can. I see Nancy, you're taking a cruise to Greece. Where is the best place, reasonable place to stay? Oh, so you're saying like a pre or post cruise hotel? So I don't know the names offhand, to be honest with you, but we've been putting quite a few people in Athens. There are a bunch of great little boutique hotels right around, what is it, the Parthenon? The Acropolis. Right around the Acropolis.
Well, I mean, that's all kind of in.
Yeah, it's all in the same area. But I have found multiple little boutique hotels that are absolutely fabulous. Right around the Acropolis area, like literally you're out on your patio or you're on the terrace of the hotel and the Acropolis is like right there. I don't know their names offhand, but I found about 4 or 5 of them that we book our clients into that are absolutely fabulous. Don't go with the name brands, don't go with the, like the big, like the Marriott and all that. I don't know the names of the hotels, Nancy. They're in my system. So I don't know offhand. I'd have to go in and look at my system.
I will say, if you have any mobility issues, do realize that these hotels may not have elevators. You may have to climb stairs with your luggage.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And they tend to be on the smaller side.
Yeah. So, and they are small. All these hotels I'm talking about are very small hotels. I think maybe 2 stories, 3 stories maximum. But I don't know them offhand. That's why I keep my list in the office. But that's what I would look at. I would start out by looking at the Acropolis and then finding some of those little boutique hotels around. They're fabulous.
Or you
Um,
can always contact Walter and he can talk to you about.
Yeah, I can talk to you about. I mean, you've already got the cruise booked, but I could book your hotel for you if you'd like, if you want to reach out. So we do book the hotels independently. But yeah, if you want to reach out and talk, happy to talk about that. And what do I think about the Harmony of the Seas with a 2-year-old? Do they have the diaper splash pad?
I don't know
thing?
if they do.
I can't remember. You're going to have to look to see if Harmony has. I know for sure the Icon has it because they made a big deal out of it. They made a special area for the kids that are in swim diapers. I don't know what exactly they have. Now, the Kids Club itself is fabulous.
Well, I don't know how young they take them. Because sometimes they will only take them if they're in diapers with the parent along. It depends on the I can't remember what Royal's policy is.
Everybody has a different policy and a different rule. And so knowing all of that information right off the top of our heads, I will say, there's not going to be a whole lot for the 2-year-old to do because that ship is more aimed towards, a little bit, I would say when you're 6 and up, that's what those ships are really aimed for. In terms of like all of the activities to do. So, you're going to be entertaining the kid yourself a lot.
And if there's no splash pad that's, because they have to have specific filtration systems to have splash pads for children that are still in diapers.
Yeah.
So if there isn't a specific one like that, then there'll be no water area that your kid can play in, because if they're still in diapers, they can't go in any of the pools. And like I said, it's only certain splash pads that have the specific filtration system that allows for them to do that. Gotcha.
And I see a couple of people mentioned that the sound's a little hissy. That's going to be the fans in the background more than likely.
It isn't.
That's going on, or there's some interference with the wireless transmitters. So, but I see. Good morning, Kurt. Oh, Kurt, thank you for the kind words on Thursday's show. If you have not seen our show from this past Thursday night on YouTube, I encourage you to go back and watch the live stream. We had Paul C. Thornton, author Paul C. Thornton, on the show from The Joy of Cruising, and it was a great 1-hour conversation. So,
and Timolin, we are not having cicada issues here, but that would be funny.
Yeah. And just, I'll get to the Disney cruise in just a second. But Nancy, parents take their small kids on cruises all the time because there's a lot to do on the cruises. Plus, the parents can really enjoy the cruise because in a lot of cases with the Kids Club, they can drop the kids off. And like I know Carnival has a Night Owls program where you got to pay for it, but you can put the kid into child care for the evening, and you can go off and enjoy a nice dinner. So yeah, absolutely.
You do need to check the FAQs on each cruise line on what their policies and age ranges are for the kids clubs. Yeah,
but you can certainly take them. And like I said, Carnival has the Night Owls. I've seen Royal Caribbean staff with strollers walking around, the Oasis class ships. So they have something as well. I don't know specifically what they have, but Alyssa, Disney cruise thoughts. You have one in October. Amazing. I don't know which ship you're on, but Disney has some of the best service, some of the best food at sea. They are an excellent cruise line if you are traveling adults only, as well as traveling with family. They have some of the larger staterooms at sea because they are designed for families. Most of them have that split bathroom design where you'll have the toilet and a sink on one side and the shower and a sink on the other side, which is really nice.
The easy way to know whether your stateroom has that is whether it's listed as a standard stateroom or a deluxe stateroom. The standard ones do not have the split baths. Yeah. Pretty much everything else does.
Yeah, and so Disney, the food, the rotational dining is actually really cool. A lot of people are like, well, I just want my time dining. It works really well on Disney, the way they set that up, where you get to rotate. You get to rotate through the 3 different restaurants, and yet the servers follow you over. It's actually a really lovely experience. They have some of the best bars at sea. I mean, their bartenders are amazing. They make excellent coffee. And of course, the shows are a lot of fun, so absolutely. Disney should be an amazing cruise line to go on. So, could I see Universal ever starting a cruise line? There have been rumors. In fact, there was a rumor at one point, I think last year, where like this big drawing came out that looked like an Oasis class ship. with that was a Universal cruise line. I would think Universal might do a partnership like they've done in the past. Like they used to be partnered with Royal Caribbean, and they had a whole DreamWorks show and all of this stuff going on the ship. I could see Universal doing that. I don't know that they would want to invest money in starting up a new cruise line because it's a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money. And they're sinking so much money into their ships, or excuse me, into their theme parks. I don't really see a need for them to start. I think it'd be great if they partnered up with somebody again, did some sort of licensing deal or something, so you could have like Harry Potter, Day at Sea, or, Jurassic Park Day at Sea. Jurassic Park Day at Sea would be hilarious. That would be absolutely awesome. See the raptors running around a cruise ship.
Jaws Day at Sea.
Huh?
Jaws Day at Sea.
Jaws Day at Sea. Wouldn't that be great? Have Bruce in the pool. Yes, let's put Bruce in the pool and have him swimming around. That would be fabulous. But I see that more likely to happen than Universal starting up a cruise line. But then again, never say never. Look at what Margaritaville is doing. Margaritaville is completely rebuilding itself after Bahamas Paradise botched that whole launch. And now they're coming in with their brand new Islander. So we're excited about that. We're going to be on the Margaritaville Islander on June 11th. Jimmy Buffett's daughter is the godmother of the ship, hoping to get a chance to meet her while we're there. So, I mean, you never say never, but I think it's more likely that Universal would go with some sort of a licensing deal. Yeah, I mean, they would work well with either Carnival or Royal Caribbean, even NCL. So, Mitzi, yes, you're taking your first cruise in a week with help from us. Yes, thank you so much for allowing us to be your travel partner. That's so exciting. Yay. I can't remember what ship you're going on offhand. See, somebody asked me about the hotels in Athens. I can't even remember what ship you're going on, and I booked you on it. So there's just like so much that we do.
Of people to remember.
We booked the Harmony of the Seas, an Oasis class ship. That's going to be absolutely stonking lovely.
And that's in Texas now.
It
right?
is. Yeah. I believe it is. Yeah, you're sailing out of Galveston, which we've not done yet. So we need to sail out of Galveston. We need to sail out of New York. Want to sail out of Los Angeles. We're going to sail out of Seattle finally next year.
New Orleans. Oh, yeah. Really want to sail out of New Orleans, both on a river cruise and on an ocean cruise. So, yeah, definitely want to do that. And Peggy is saying, Disney cruises here, child free. I mean, these are big Disney cruisers here, and they go child free all the time, and they have a fabulous, fabulous time. Mary Massey, for Key West, do we recommend a cruise stop or a road trip? I mean, if you really want to experience Key West, obviously you need, honestly, for any port stop, if you really want to experience that town or that local area, then you go on land. There's no question about it. Even an overnight cruise stop still won't be the same as staying in Athens for 2 or 3 nights. It's totally different than coming in on a cruise stop where you dock up in Piraeus. So it's going to be the same with Key West. I recommend just going to Key West. Key West is absolutely amazing. So you can do either. You can do absolutely either. So I love these people who want to go live with me, like I'm ever going to actually accept. Wonder of the Seas with a question mark. Yes, it's a great ship. I don't know what else you want to know. It's a fabulous ship. It is the newest of the Oasis class for like another month until the Utopia gets here. Now, the Utopia is interesting because the Utopia has taken elements of the Icon and incorporated it in, which whatever Oasis 7 is going to be, we can expect more of that. But Wonder is a fabulous ship. Absolutely gorgeous. Good morning, Chris. How are you? Skyboy, have we been on the original Margaritaville Paradise? We have not. We have not been on that ship yet. I don't know if or when we're going to get on it. We're definitely going on the Islander. June 11th through the 13th, we'll be on the ship for the preview. Yes, we will be trying to go live. We will be creating content. We'll be doing all kinds of stuff. And then June 14th through the 18th, we'll be on the inaugural. And on June 13th, hopefully, if everything works out well, we're going to hang out with Lalita Locatoni for a few hours, have some breakfast, lunch, or something with him. Hopefully, Jenny as well. No, we have not been on that ship. I have not actually booked anybody on that ship. We have already started booking people onto the Islander because it really looks fabulous.
Detours, Labadee open. I believe Royal Caribbean sent out a notice just recently that Labadee is going to be closed all the way through to, I thought I heard April of 25 or something like that. So, but I can't confirm that, but I would not expect Labadee to open anytime soon. Recommendation to Amber Cove, that's Dominican Republic, right?
Yeah, that's the one that's near Puerto Plata. So
yeah.
There is a lot of, because that's a Carnival Corporation built thing.
Yeah.
So there's like some pool area and some stuff like that I believe are free, and some bars. But if you go into Puerto Plata, Walter's got a recommendation.
Oh yeah, monster buggies. If you look it up right on TikTok, you're watching me on TikTok. You can also see it on YouTube. My monster buggies. That's where we did the mud buggies when we were on the Oceana Serena, which was fabulous because that's a luxury cruise line. And I walked back to the ship completely covered head to toe in mud. And right next to us was the Scarlet Lady from Virgin Voyages. And of course, I'm on this little luxury ship, and everybody from the Scarlet Lady is looking at me covered in mud. And here I go walking onto a luxury cruise line, which was just fabulous. But the mud buggies was awesome. It's about 2.5 hours, I think. And you will get muddy. You will get absolutely muddy. You're welcome, TD. Rob, have we been on the Enchanted Princess? Not the Enchanted, but we've been on the Sky, which is her sister, her younger sister. No, her older sister. Fabulous ship. The Royal class ships are stunning. I think they're the most beautiful princess ships out there right now. They're very modern, but yet they retain a lot of the nautical. Now, we have not been on the Sky yet. The Sun. The Sun is coming up in October. If you'd like to join us, we're going on the Sun October 19th. We got $100 of onboard credit for everybody who joins us.
Very limited cabin availability.
Yeah, it's getting close to sold out. It's the second sailing in the United States, so I think people are starting to realize, oh, I want to be one of the first ones on it when it gets over here. But the Enchanted Princess is a sister. They have lovely pools. They have the movies Under the Stars. They have you got your Sabatinis, your Crown Grill. I think now it's the Catch by Rudy. They've transferred that restaurant over. Love the Good Spirits Bar. Love the larger piazza. It's really, really nice.
They have the authentic gelato.
Oh yeah, the authentic gelato on there. So yeah, it's a great ship. It's a fabulous ship. We have sent a lot of people on it. In fact, we've got a meeting later on today to talk about that Historic America tour that they've come up with. So Princess is doing, if you haven't seen it, Princess is doing a 14-day land sea tour of Historic America, where you start out in Washington, D.C., you go down to, I think, Williamsburg. I know Philadelphia's in there. A few other places are in there. You end up in New York City, and then you pick up the Enchanted Princess for a 7-night Canada-New England cruise. So that's a really cool one right now. And by the way, Laura, I see Laura, buggy sound fun. You didn't rinse off in the ocean. Yes, we did rinse off in the ocean, but then we went, that was the halfway point. Then we went again and got muddy again. In fact, we got more muddy on the second half than we did on the first half. So have we done the NCL Joy you're looking at an Alaska cruise? So we've been on her sisters, the Escape and the Getaway. The only thing I will say about those ships is they're really big, over 4,000 people, and that's really big for an Alaska cruise. If it's the only, there are some smaller ships going out of Seattle round trip, like we're doing a Seattle round trip in June of 2025 on the Oceana Riviera. That's only 1,200 people. It is nearly all inclusive. So I like the smaller ships in Alaska.
But if you're with a family, that's a good
option. If you're with a family, then you might want to do, the Royal Caribbean, the Norwegian, Disney, Carnival, those ships, because there will be a lot of things to do on there. But if it's adults going up there, Alaska is the star. So you want the smaller ship. And the thing to keep in mind too, like Princess and Holland America, when they say they're going to Ketchikan, they actually stop in Ketchikan. A lot of the other cruise lines can't stop in Ketchikan. They've got to dock somewhere else. I know Norwegian is one of those. I think I can't remember how far away you have to dock to go into Ketchikan.
It's not horribly far. No,
but far enough. I remember Steph saying she kind of wishes that, they could have gone, because they saw the Princess ships in there and they're like, oh man, that would have been nice. So when you've got these really big ships in Alaska and they're dumping off a lot of people, I know in some cases too, you have to tender where other ships might dock up. So the Joy is a fabulous ship. It wouldn't be my first choice in Alaska, but if you're going with a family, then maybe, you know, there's a reason to do it with the family. But in Alaska, I like smaller ships, you know, 3,000, 2,000, 1,000. The Oceania Riviera that we're going on June 26th through July 8th of 2025, it's only 1,200 passengers. We're doing 12 nights out of Seattle. So we're really going to get that full Alaska cruise, even though we're doing round trip Seattle. It's going to be really, really nice. So Betty is loving VV. Betty, you're coming to us from VV. She's on the hammock now. Oh, Rebecca's so jealous. Rebecca's so jealous. For those of you who have never done Virgin Voyages, about 99% of the balconies have a hammock out on them, and they are super, super comfortable. Rebecca literally will sleep like overnight in them, like 1 or 2 nights during the cruise. I basically get the hammock whenever she's not in the cabin. That's the only time I get it.
Yeah. Although I do get a lot of nasty grams from Virgin, because technically to have the air conditioning work at optimal levels, you have to have the door to the balcony closed and locked, but it only locks from the inside. So when you're outside in the hammock, you can't lock it. So it affects the air conditioning.
What are you going to do?
So I just have learned to ignore their nasty grams telling me that I need to close and lock it in order to save power.
There you go. Rob, you're going to have a great time on the Enchanted Princess. I just see your note now that you're going in November. You're going to have a fabulous, fabulous time. Peggy is asking, Kurt, I'm sorry. I missed your question. I'll get right there. Peggy says, speaking of Alaska, why do we recommend Harv and Marv so much? Are they really that much better than other whale watching tours? Yes. Yes. If you're going to Juneau, there's I think they're brothers is who started the company, Harv and Marv. We went on them literally, it was back in 2008, 2009 is when we went on them. And they were so amazing. At the time, they only had 2 or 4 small boats. Yeah, they had 2 boats that only held like 6 or 8 people.
6.
Now they've got more boats. I think they go up to 20 people, but they're still small, maybe 30 people. And the reason why we recommend them so much is because they are locals, and they have taken every single client that we have sent to them, and we get nothing from Harv and Marv. We just recommend that you guys go book them because they're so good. Every single client that we have sent, they're like, oh my God, they were awesome. Now, Stephanie, while Stephanie was in Alaska, she did a different company in Juneau, and they were a local company too. And she's like, I should have done Harv and Marv. I shouldn't have done this company. They just were not good. Harv and Marv, they have flexibility. Whereas, you know, a lot of, like when you do one through the cruise line, it's usually a double-decker boat. In fact, I remember we were taking pictures of whales, and here comes the Princess boat with a double-decker, well over 200 people.
Yeah.
And there was just 4 of us on our boat, and he was taking us right in. And most of the captains are photographers too. And he was helping me, you know, plan out my shot. He's like, here's what's going to happen with the whale. Get ready to take a shot. So Harv and Marv, if you're going to Juneau, Alaska, Harv and Marv is it. They've been
doing it so long. They actually, because the underside of every whale's tail is slightly different.
The fingerprint.
So they actually know, they will recognize individual whales.
Yeah, so they can tell you who the whales are and when they've come back and all of that good stuff. So, Kurt, you're asking, does Princess reimburse the 2 specialty dinners to original payment or as OBC? It should be refunded. So what Kurt is... Well,
I've heard mixed stories on whether you get onboard credit or refunds.
Okay, so what Kurt is asking about, when you have Princess Premier, which is one of their onboard packages, Princess, by the way, has the best onboard packages in terms of value for the dollar, in my opinion. Princess Plus, Princess Premier. And a lot of people are like, oh, isn't that the drinks package? No, it's way more than the drinks package and for everything you get. So with Princess Premier, you get 2 specialty dinings included in the package. But the thing is, if you book your dinners in advance of getting on the ship, you have to pay for them when you book them, and then you will get reimbursed when you're on the ship. Now, Rebecca's saying she hears mixed reviews.
Well, and that's 90% of the time they'll charge you. There have been cases where people don't get charged.
Right, but you're hearing mixed stories on what they get.
Yeah, it may be onboard credit. It may be back to your original payment. Mm-hmm. I'm not entirely different. It seems like it's not a consistent thing. And I do believe it's something that they are going to try and eventually get it onto the app so that you won't have to.
Yeah.
pay for it, you will first get your credits if you're on Princess Premier.
And Princess usually has pretty good tech. If you don't know, the president of Princess is the person who brought the Magic Bands to life at Disney. So he's very tech forward. He's the one who brought the Ocean Medallion forward. And actually, the Ocean Medallion do a lot more than what the Magic Band do. They're more in line with what he was hoping the Magic Band would have done originally. Tammy's saying that she bought one of those hammocks for the house. Great nap. See, we still got to get one here.
Yeah.
Laura's sailing on the Mardi Gras in March. Embarkation's on your birthday. Yay.
I just want to throw something out there talking about the bands. John Heald apparently asked the question on his page if Carnival cruisers would like to have wearable technology.
Yes.
So if he's throwing it out there, it may be something they're actually considering moving over.
It makes sense.
Carnival.
Because Princess is a Carnival brand, so why wouldn't Carnival have it? Man, boy, I'll tell you, if they bring the Ocean Medallion or whatever they're going to call it, the Fun Band, they're probably going to call it the Fun Band. The Fun Band. Oh, you can really do a lot with that. But yeah, that'll be great. That'll be totally awesome. Hey, Frank, how are you? Good to see you. Let's see. Douglas is saying he's got a free offer from Carnival for the Venezia. I would say yes. I mean, the Venezia is your Italian version of Carnival. So it's a former Costa ship. They left a lot of the Italian there. So here's what I see. People who don't cruise Carnival a lot love it because it to me, it's more of like an adult Carnival. There are some Carnival faithful who don't like it simply because it doesn't have a whale tail and simply because it looks so different inside. I mean, it's an Italian cruise ship and Carnival left it. I would say absolutely. If they're offering to let you on the ship and do it, absolutely go do it. Beth, hello from LinkedIn. It actually works. Good. Hi. By the way, folks, if you don't know, we're actually broadcasting on TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook simultaneously. And I'm glad to see that the LinkedIn is working. You just got back from Alaska. You added an extra day in Seattle. Glacier Bay was your favorite. That is absolutely awesome. We're debating on whether we're going to do 2 or 3 days in Seattle prior to our cruise in June. I cannot wait to get up there. That is going to be so much fun.
Probably depend on when the flights are the best.
Yes. And good morning, Joan. And there's Joan from Facebook. Hello, Joan. Good to see you. Good morning. Always late. Hey, that's a great handle. I love that. Thoughts on the Radiance of the Seas? You're leaving in 2 weeks. So Radiance class is a great class of ship. I mean, she is more, I'll just say more like adult forward or adult centric, because I think the only thing on there for the kids is the kids club and a rock climbing wall. I don't even think there's a water slide on that particular class of ship. So it's a different experience. It's I want to say it's a little bit more of a traditional experience. Yeah, there's the Royal Caribbean shows, there's some of that Royal Caribbean entertainment, but it's a much smaller ship, much quieter vibe, if you will. So I would say that the experience on Radiance would be more similar to going on some of the other cruise lines than it is, the Royal Caribbean. It's not a loud ship. It's not a big, crazy ship. It's going to be a really fun experience, I think. But just set your expectations knowing that it's probably going to skew a little bit older because not as many families would bring their kids on there because the kids want the water slides. They want the flow rider. They want the ice skating rink. They want all that other stuff.
If they do bring their kids on there, it's because they didn't really do the research right and didn't realize.
Or they're really young.
Well, yeah, true.
Yeah, if the kids are really young, it's a good ship.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good morning, Sandra. How are you? Hey, can't wait to talk to you about Alaska. We've got some Alaska ideas, so just let me know in the emails when you want to follow up. So, folks, if you've never worked with us, how we work, first of all, our services are 100% free to you. And what we do is we do an intake call with you first, to find out what you want and get some more background information about you. We go off and do some research, more so Rebecca doing the research, and then I'll set up a follow-up call with you so that we can actually go over. I don't really like just sending you a proposal because, sometimes you really don't know like how to compare. That's part of the reason why you want to talk to us, because it's hard to compare apples to apples when you look at Norwegian, Royal, Princess, Holland, everybody's like, how do I know what I'm actually getting? So then we like to set up that follow-up call with you. So yeah, Sandra, just let us know if we can talk to you or when we can talk and do that follow-up. Hey, oh, Chris is thinking about Margaritaville, waiting for our live from there and the reviews. Yeah, so we should be on the Margaritaville Islander a total of 6 nights. The only kind of bummer is that we're not going to Key West. It's kind of weird. The inaugural cruise is a 4-nighter to Cozumel. You would think the inaugural cruise would go to Key West. It's actually the second cruise that's going to Key West. And we thought about it. We thought about doing that one, but it just makes more sense to go to Tampa, which is actually only an hour and a half from here. To go to Tampa, do the preview, then stay in Tampa for the night and go right back on the ship the next night, then to come all the way back here and then drive back. So yeah, I'm really excited to bring to you guys what's going on that ship. I've got a lot of hope for this ship.
The pictures look gorgeous.
The pictures look great. I mean, is she a brand new ship? No. But she does look absolutely fabulous. And I had to bring up my calendar because I see the question from Alex over here on YouTube. Alex is asking who's going to be on our Thursday show. So every Thursday night, we try to be live at 8 p.m. Eastern time, only on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Thursday night will be Venture Ashore. It's coming on. That is our independent tour partner. And what Venture Ashore does is they offer that same return to ship guarantee as the cruise line. So if you were to miss the cruise, miss the ship due to their tour, they will get you to the next port. So there's no stress, there's no pressure. They're going to get you to the next port. So on Thursday night, they will be joining us. Venture Ashore, Jenny from Venture Ashore will be joining us on Thursday night. So that should be a lot of fun. Janet, how are you? Good to see you. You're going on the Virgin Voyages Group cruise on June 12th. I believe we only purchased the Virgin Voyages insurance. Should we also get the Allianz insurance? That is 100% up to you. The main difference is the quality of the medical coverage. The Virgin Voyages doesn't have the best medical coverage in the world. However, on that particular cruise, I mean, you are going to Key West, which is Florida. That is part of the United States. So if you have a medical plan, it should cover you in Florida, depending on, what the terms and conditions are of that. And then you'll be going to Bimini. I mean, you will be in international waters. If something happens on the ship or something happens in Bimini, your health plan may or may not cover it. That's 100%.
But you are at least really still close to Florida.
You're very close to Florida.
Even the cruise line coverage should at least.
It's not bad. It's not the best.
It should at least cover a trip from Bimini, I would think, if you have to get evacuated back.
Yeah. So, what? I hear the noise coming from behind us too now. So maybe there is a noise coming from back there. Let's see. Alex is asking thoughts on the first mate crackdown from Virgin Voyages. Basically, Virgin Voyages is restricting how many My Next Virgin Voyages that the first mates can purchase and some of the other things that some first mates have done. So unlike other cruise lines, we can actually purchase, that next cruise certificate on a ship, and then we can resell it to you and give you the benefits of it. Now, Virgin Voyages has encouraged this. I mean, they've strongly encouraged this for years, and since they started. And in fact, at one point, they let travel agents buy as many as they want on the ship, and then they cracked down and said, okay, you can only buy 10. When we had the top 100 first mate soiree, they said, hey, you can buy up to 40 of them while you're on the ship. So they've actually encouraged this, and now all of a sudden, and I've been I guess the vocal minority saying, this is really not great, because basically the small independent travel advisors like myself, I mean, we can't afford to just keep buying these things endlessly. Whereas the larger travel conglomerates, or the larger travel agencies could just go on the ship, or they could send people on the ship just to keep buying them. Now, the big thing that they're cracking down on, though, and I have heard of this, is travel agents actually asking you to buy the My Next Virgin Voyage on behalf of the travel agent and then hand them over to the travel agent. That's wrong. That's 100% wrong. So I don't know. It's just a course correct from Virgin Voyages. I think they're still a great cruise line. As people abuse a system, obviously Virgin is the most lenient and has the most relaxed rules of any cruise line out there, but also they're the newest and they want to do things differently. So, as people take advantage of a system, well, then they've got to start cracking down. I mean, just look at Carnival. Carnival has always had that rule that your scooter needs to stay inside your cabin, at the end of the night to charge up. People have been putting them in the hallway. People have been putting them in the elevator lobbies forever. Now Carnival's like, you know what? You've been abusing it for too long. Now you got to put it inside, or we're just going to kick you off the ship, or you can't come on the ship.
Yeah, they won't even let you on the ship.
Yeah. So
I did hear a story of some gentleman who had, not whether it was a motorized wheelchair or a scooter, but he had some sort of assistive device, and he had not informed the cruise line beforehand that he was bringing something on board, and they would not let him board. So if you're using anything like that, you have to let the cruise line know.
Yeah, there's a special needs form that generally needs to be filled out, or we just simply need to tell the cruise line. I think like MSC, I have to call and let them know. But most of the cruise line, they have a form that you need to fill out. And you do need to let them know that you're bringing a scooter, and they will, as part of the form, they usually ask you for the specific information about that particular scooter. They want them to fold up now. Most of the ones that you can buy, they do fold up. And I don't know about the ones that you rent, how many of those collapse. I think most of those do as well. People don't want to, but I think most of those will collapse as well. So Marie had a medical issue prior to a Norwegian cruise. Allianz came through. It's easy and efficient. Yes, we've heard that too. That's one of the reasons why we continue to recommend and sell Allianz, because those clients of ours who unfortunately have had to make claims, so far they've said the process has been easy. A few clients who have had to make claims with cruise lines, it's not as easy, and it is a little bit more time intensive. If you travel again, will you always have a pre-existing? But that just depends on what the situation was. We recommend getting the pre-existing waiver. Usually that means that you have to get your insurance within 14 days of making the original deposit. But like with KHM Travel Group, we actually have another option through Allianz, which is called group travel coverage, that allows us to give you that pre-existing waiver so long as you get it up to final payment. So I don't know what it is and whether it's considered a pre-existing condition. You may be able to look it up on the Allianz site and see if they have a list of what they consider pre-existing. But you would have to look that up, or just call them.
And it also has to, if you have another issue, it has to be a result of the same thing in order, even if it is. So like if you, sprained your ankle on one cruise and then you had a cut on your arm on a separate, those are two separate conditions.
Yeah. I mean, basically what you need to do is call, because neither one of us are qualified to give travel insurance advice, like total advice and tell you everything that's involved with the travel insurance. Your best bet is to call Allianz. They're good people to talk to.
Yeah.
And ask them directly, hey, here's the specific situation I want to know about, and they'll tell you. So yeah. Laura, required to bring a note from a doctor if you have a controlled prescription or original bottle good. You got to check with the cruise line. It depends on what you're talking about by a controlled prescription. Like, for instance, CBD, anything to do with CBD, absolutely big no-no on all of the cruise ships. However, that being said, I will say one of my clients, I don't know the specific product that he was using. Princess gave him clearance to bring it on the ship. It took like 2 weeks to get the answer back. So, I mean, if you're thinking about bringing something on board that is a controlled substance, you start that process soon, because it could take weeks. It could take a month or so to get the answer back from the cruise line. So I don't know if that note is going to be good enough.
If you do have a prescription other than any sort of marijuana-based products, if you have a prescription, you will be allowed to take it. It's just a matter of what you need to do to get it on the ship.
Yeah. And like I said, certain things are no-no, like CBDs are no-no, unless you have specific permission from the cruise line. Unearthling, what about bariatric surgery? Should you tell the cruise line about that? I
wouldn't think so.
I would not think so. I don't seem to recall seeing anything about that on the special
unless
needs
you have
form.
Any sort of active needs due to that.
Yeah, like if you have dietary needs due to that, yes, like they do ask about diabetes and other things like the gluten-free, all of that.
Allergies.
Cruise lines are really, really good about taking care of allergies. They're really good about gluten-free, things like that. So unless there's a specific diet that goes with it, I wouldn't think so. But you can always check the special needs form special needs form has everything they want to know about you. And if that doesn't show up on the form, then it's not something that you really have to worry about. So yeah. I see that some comments are being filtered on TikTok. So I'm going to put out a reminder that if you're trying to ask a question about Virgin Voyages on TikTok, you cannot use the word Virgin. TikTok will filter that comment. And that's not us. That's TikTok doing that. So if you want to ask a question about Virgin Voyages, use VV. It's my recommendation, or use the name of the ship. But yeah, we would love to talk to you about Virgin Voyages. They are a wonderful cruise line. But on TikTok, you do have to use VV. And it's the top of the hour. I'll remind everybody, we are your independent travel advisor. We're Where's Walter Travel. I am Walter. My wife, Rebecca, is sitting right off camera. And we are your travel agent for everything cruise, land, luxury, expedition. Our services are 100% free to you. We do not charge for our services at all. We get taken care of by the travel partners on the back end with the commissions, and those commissions are all baked right into the fares that you pay. So there's no extra charge for working with us. If you don't work with a travel advisor, then Royal, Carnival, and all those folks, they just keep the commission for themselves.
It's funny, on one of the cruise lines, I can't remember which one, the line that will list the commissions says commission/administrative fee. So they're just counting it as an administrative fee if they get the booking directly.
And if you say, well, why would I book with a travel advisor versus a cruise line? It's amazing when we went to a conference in April called the Cruise 360 conference put on by the Cruise Line International Association, just how many bookings are made by travel agents versus the actual cruise lines themselves. Overwhelming, the majority of the bookings made for all cruise lines are made by travel advisors. Even as big as some of these cruise lines are and as big as their phone banks are, there's still, I know that there's around 100,000 travel advisors in the United States alone, something like that. I found that out from Virgin Voyages because we're in the top 100 of Virgin Voyages sales agents for North America. And it was my rep that told me, there's over 100,000 people selling Virgin Voyages and you're in the top 100 of them. I'm like, wow, that's
I would imagine there may be even more because I know Virgin's one of the lines that some travel agencies don't sell.
Yeah, which I don't understand. I don't understand why you wouldn't sell a specific line. I mean, I had a good reason not to sell Margaritaville at first because the original company did not represent the brand well, and they did not do a good job with that ship. Now, Margaritaville. But I don't know of any other company right now that I would.
I mean, there are
sell.
If you're buying a certain big box stores, they have certain deals with cruise lines. So, I mean, it's probably not going to save you any money, but you might get some extras here or there.
Might get some extras here or there, sure.
They haven't all bothered to deal with certain cruise lines, not just Virgin. There's other ones.
Liam, I think you're going on MSC Divina next week. Any tips? If they've got the chocolate shop with the affogato, oh my God, absolutely amazing. The thing about MSC, and we do talk about this a lot on here, is their service is incredibly inconsistent and their food is incredibly inconsistent. Even on the same ship, even on successive cruises, depending on, say, like who your room steward is, who your dining server is, who your chef is that's working in the background.
How full your dining time is. Yeah,
like you could have like a really, really like top-notch experience, and then the next week you could just have oh my God, I can't believe how bad the service and the food was. It's a very inconsistent experience on MSC, and that's the thing that holds them back right now. They have what I was told by one of my reps, and we've been on them twice so far. We've been on the seaside and the seashore, and we enjoyed both cruises. They had beautiful pools. The ships themselves are stunning. They just need to get the hotel operations more consistent because, when you go on Royal Caribbean, when you go on Carnival, when you go on Norwegian, when you go on Princess Holland, all the other guys, you pretty much know what you're going to get before you come on. And it might be a little bit more, it might be a little bit less, but there's not like a drastic change from what you're expecting usually. With MSC, you just really don't know what you're stepping into until that week. That being said, you're going to have a good time on the ship. You just have to go in with some of the service may not be the best, some of the food may not be the best.
And their entertainment may be.
And the entertainment is certainly not of the same level as, say, Royal Caribbean, Princess, and all the others. But you also look at the value for what you're paying. MSC is one of the best values out there in cruising just because of what you pay. I can put you in the yacht club for the same price as a Royal Caribbean balcony. And in that yacht club, I mean, you're getting that butler service, the lounge, the restaurant, the drinks package, the Wi-Fi, you're getting all that stuff for the same price as a Royal Caribbean balcony. So the value for dollar is there. It's just you have to accept that there might be shortcomings. You might come away going, that was the most amazing cruise I've ever had. So it's just, it's a very inconsistent service. And I know they hired a new head of hotel operation, and that is I think it's a woman. I think that is one of her jobs, is one of her mandates is to get that consistency there.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And we absolutely did enjoy both our cruises that we took, and we were in just regular, we weren't in yacht club. That's our next step to try that. Mm-hmm. But we enjoyed both the cruises. Certainly not our favorite cruises ever, but I don't know if maybe we're just not picky or something, but we have enjoyed every single cruise we've been on, just some more than others. Yeah. That's all.
And Pier 88 just said they just came off the Magnifica and it was a great cruise. So there you go. I mean, we had a good time, but we go in with the mindset knowing right off the bat, we might have, we had up and down food. Pizza was amazing. The homemade burrata and mozzarella were amazing. The affogato was amazing. The coffee was amazing. The pools were 6 feet deep. They were really nice pools. There's a lot to like about MSC. You might have a little inconsistent. Once they get that consistency, oh my God, they're going to kill. They are absolutely going to kill. Lily wants to go on the Beyond, and the next person, Fran did want to know my thoughts about the Celebrity Beyond going on in July. So Celebrity Beyond, right off the bat, if Captain Kate is there, you're going to be on the ship with Captain Kate and Bug the cat. The captains are 3 months on, 3 months off, so you may or may not get her. The Celebrity Beyond is one of the most beautiful ships sailing out there right now. She is absolutely stonking gorgeous. We have sent clients on her that have been amazed. Stephanie said it was one of the most beautiful ships. I think what was really interesting, and I keep mentioning Stephanie, it's Stephanie from the Sean and Steph channel, one of our most dear friends ever. What she commented on was there was a certain level to the staff that she had not experienced anywhere else. I mean, we've been on a lot of ships with really great crews and things like that, but she said there was just another level to this crew. And she attributes that to Captain Kate, that Captain Kate runs that ship at such a high level that it just permeates down to everybody else. And she said she's never experienced quite the level of service that she did on that ship. So that is the one that we are looking forward to getting onto as soon as possible. We have not sailed on that particular ship yet, but we need to correct that sooner than later.
And we did learn an interesting fact from Steph.
Yeah.
Apparently cats can suffer from seasickness.
See that?
Who knew?
And Captain Kate actually more recently was showing Bug not feeling all that great because the ship was rocking a bit. So I
wonder if she can get little tiny cute patches from behind her ears.
Big Willie wants to know, how's the Carnival Breeze, your first cruise in September? Getting excited the closer we get. I will say we've not sailed the Carnival Breeze yet. We haven't sailed anything below the XL class yet. We have talked about running out to get on the Freedom. In fact, it was kind of funny. We were like, oh, maybe we'll go out on the Freedom. And then the whale tail caught on fire for the second time.
But no, totally different issue than the first
totally
time.
Different issue, yeah. That I think they should just get rid of the whale tail on that ship. Please don't put it back.
That ship does not want one.
It doesn't want it. I'm trying to think if we sent anybody on the Breeze yet. We've sent people on the Glory, the Conquest, the Legend, the which one?
Pride.
The Pride. And we've sent a lot of people on the ships right around that class, and they've all had a great time. So, but I don't have any personal knowledge of the Breeze. I think we might have somebody going on the Breeze towards the end of this year. But I mean, you should have a great time. I mean, come on, it's Carnival. I will say nobody does cruise director staff like the Fun Squad. There is nobody at sea like the Fun Squad, period. They are the Fun Squad for a reason. They do a great job with games and entertainment and sail away and all of that. So if nothing else, you're going to have fun. And, the food, now in the main dining room, the food can be, somewhat hit or miss.
Although they have updated the menus since.
Yeah, so Emerald has all those new dishes that they're rotating in and out. The pizza is usually quite good. And I don't know, Jack Chicken may or may not be on there. Of course, you got Guy's Burgers. You're going to have fun. You're going to have a great time. So it should be absolutely a lot of fun.
I mean, I would not expect a 5-star experience, but you will have fun.
Jack is saying you just got off the MSC that we booked for you guys. Oh, and you had a good time. And we chose amazing rooms. You know, that is one of the things that we pride ourselves on, is really looking at the deck plans and trying to find the best possible room within the category that you want to book. Because, you know, look, not all cabins are made equal. Not all cabin locations are made equal. Like, you got to be really careful on the Virgin Voyages ship, because a lot of the sea views are right underneath the manor, which is the nightclub that's going to run until about 2 a.m. And while the ships are, you know, they got a lot of sound dampening and all that, they are a big hunk of steel, and sound vibrates through steel. And so you get the bass and all that stuff going on. It's going to be crazy. Rick, who served in the Navy, thank you very much for your service on this Memorial Day. Thank you to everybody who is serving or who has served. Rick was on the Celebrity Beyond, and if you were in the Navy, they may not grant it, but if you were in the Navy, you can request a tour of the bridge. And if they can do it on that tour, on that cruise, they may bring you into the bridge. And Rick actually got a chance to go up onto the bridge, met Captain Kate, and all of that. So, yeah, he just got off that ship and said it was absolutely stonking amazing. I knew we just had somebody come off of that. Alex wants to know if any NCL ship will have free access to the bow. Looks like most of the new ships are limiting access to the VIP. Don't know. That may be a ship-to-ship thing, too, because like the newer bows seem to be tighter, like less space up there. I know you can walk all the way around now. I believe the Prima class, you can actually walk that whole space. At least that's how it was supposed to be set up. But I don't know anything offhand. I don't know anything offhand in terms of the bow. So, but yeah, the bow is a very popular spot for the sailways. In Alaska, it's a very popular spot, especially up on the helipad, if they've got the helipad up front. And also the Panama Canal. That can be a very popular spot for the Panama Canal, just standing right out there as you go through the Panama Canal. But I don't know anything specific about NCL limiting access to the very front of the ship and the bow and all of that good stuff. Absolutely not. I don't know. Maybe they are. Maybe they're not. And it also may depend on the ship. You know, certain ships, they have limited space up there. So that's the thing about, you know, a lot of cruise line. Sometimes it's not just a blanket policy. Sometimes it affects certain classes of ship or specific types, specific ships within the fleet. Speaking of that, we do have a group cruise going out May 31st, 2025 on the brand new Norwegian Aqua. Now, I can't advertise the prices. Our prices are supposed to be 15% off. I was looking the other day, and our prices are like $1,000 off on some of the categories. I was absolutely shocked.
$1,000, not 1,000%.
No, $1,000, like $1,000 off. Right? We've got a couple of balconies. I think we've got 5 cabins left, but we got a couple of balconies and a couple of interiors, and one of them was $1,000 off. I'm like, wow, this is way more than 15% off. It's because we locked in the prices months ago. So if anybody wants to go on the brand new Norwegian Aqua, which is going to start sailing next year. We're going on May 31st through June 7th out of Port Canaveral on an Eastern Caribbean cruise. We have deeply discounted cabins that we are not permitted to tell you the prices. We can't advertise the prices anywhere. But let's just say that your price with free at sea could be up to $1,000 off. Now, that, as far as I know, they haven't changed our pricing on it, but I'll have to go look. But yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible. Gary Q, the only time you've seen the bow limited is during rough or windy weather. Yeah, they will even limit like some of the top decks. I've seen some of the top decks be closed. When we were on the Oceana Serena, we couldn't get out onto the promenade for a couple of days because the wind was really whipping. I'll tell you, when you're on those smaller ships like the Serena, 650 passengers, I want to say it was like 30,000 gross tons, somewhere in there. It's a very, very small ship. The promenade deck is low. You're down on deck 5, and you're right down there by the waterline, which was awesome. I forgot all about that. I forgot what it was like to be way down there. Because the promenade's usually like deck 7 and 8 on these new ships. On the older ships, it's down on deck 5, and that was fabulous, being nice and low. But they will close them from time to time. So Glynis, you're going on the MSC World America on that date. Wish you knew before of your deal. Well, we have been talking about it for, I don't know, 3-4 months, but if you haven't been following us, then you may have missed it. I do, just in case you want to know, like you're watching us on TikTok, if you click my logo, there's a link tree and our group cruises are in there. So
and we're working on more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. In fact, we might do Margaritaville. Who knows? But we're if you always want to know about our group cruises, just simply go to our website, where'swaltertravel.com, and there's a group cruise tab, and all the group cruises that we currently are booking. So right now we've got the Sun Princess, the brand spanking new Sun Princess, is sailing October 19th through the 26th this year from Fort Lauderdale. It's only the second sailing from the United States, and we're giving $100 on board credit for everybody who books with us. We're taking our gap points and turning it into that. Then we've got that Norwegian Aqua Cruise is going to be May 31st through June 7th of 2025. Sailing out of Port Canaveral, that's in Eastern Caribbean. The Sun Princess is also in Eastern Caribbean. And then the big one, the Alaska Cruise, is going to be the Oceania Riviera. Only 1,200 passengers, essentially all-inclusive. So this is June 26th through July 8th, 2025, round trip from Seattle, 12 ports, including Icy Strait Point. With
12 nights.
12 nights, excuse me, 12 nights, 8 ports, 12 nights, 8 ports, including Icy Strait Point, that has the world's longest, tallest, fastest zip line or whatever that thing is. I cannot wait to do that. And the cool thing about the Oceania Riviera, one, it's only 1,200 passengers. Two, is nearly all-inclusive. So Oceania includes all of your meals, your beer, wine, champagne with lunch and dinner, the specialty coffees and the sodas, the Wi-Fi, and on this particular cruise, $600 in shore excursion credit. So the first $600 towards shore excursions are included. With our group, if you book a balcony or higher, the prepaid gratuities are added, and the drink package upgrade is added. So it's a $1,200 package that's added if you book a balcony or higher by booking within our group. Got around 20 people, I think, going on that one. So it's a really nice group coming together. On the Sun Princess, we have, I think, 34, 35 people going on that one. And I don't know on the Norwegian. Norwegian's around 20 people or so going with us on that one. So yeah, so if you want to try that, then certainly let us know. And like Rebecca said, there are more group cruises coming. Certainly a river cruise is coming. Land tour group will be coming too. We've been talking to Raro Tours and also Colette, two of our partners. So we're going to put together a land tour group as well. So yeah, we've got more groups coming 2025, 2026 for sure. We're already starting to do some of that planning. And I really think we're going to have a Margaritaville Islander group. We may even announce it from the ship. I just think that's going to be a fun ship to put a group on, go to Key West and all that good stuff. So yeah, that's going to be a really, really fun thing.
They do have a few quirks to work out with the booking process. So
that's putting it mildly.
We're hoping that will get worked out within the next few months, at least by the end of the year. If you go to Margaritaville's website,
you'll see that their booking engine is not that great. The one that the travel agents use is even worse. And they know. They're working on it. Supposedly there's new updates coming out. The whole sales team is going to be on the ship when we're on the ship. So we're going to get to talk to them about it. You know, look, they're fixing it all. They know that they need to fix it all. And they're working.
They came in with very antiquated systems in place from Bahamas Paradise. So they have a lot to work on.
They got a lot to work on.
And honestly, they did the right thing. They're working on the ships first.
Correct.
Get the back end stuff figured out later.
Correct. Jeff, Becky, how are you? If you get an upgrade bid in the mail from Virgin Voyages, do we work with you or submit our bid? Really good question. So, you know, when you work with a travel advisor, we take care of all the cruise aspect of your booking. We make your payments. Actually, that's the big thing that we do. We make the payments for you guys. On some cruise lines now, we can help book the shore excursions. We can do some other things. With the upgrade bids, that's all you. If you decide you want to bid, just always remember, when you do these upgrade bids, you're getting a better category, but are you getting a better location? And on Virgin Voyages, gym, but there is like this heavy slamming that's going on every single morning. And I cannot imagine being in the suites that are right below whatever the heck is going on in that gym. So you have to keep that in mind, that when you do the upgrade, you're going to get a better category cabin, but are you going to get into a better location? Because some of the better cabins, like if you go from an inside to an ocean view, I just mentioned, like on Virgin Voyages specifically, the Manor is right above a whole bunch of those sea view cabins. On some cruise lines, balconies and ocean views are near, theaters and nightclubs and restaurants and machinery and anchors and all this other stuff. So you have to be aware that, yes, you could be getting a better category, but there's no control over the upgrade. So once they move you, you're there. So that is the only downside to doing an upgrade. We've only done it one time, and it was now on Virgin Voyages. I have no problem recommending that you go ahead and bid on an upgrade to the Sea Terrace or Essential Sea Terrace. I don't know that there's a bad location for those. There
are a few of the Sea Terraces up in the very front of the ship that don't have the hammock.
I thought that was only the XLs.
I thought there was.
Because I thought the Sea Terraces were behind the XLs.
Well, at any rate, there's a few things up in the front that don't have.
Yeah, the XL. There are so many XLs because of the curve of the ship.
I thought they had a few balconies too.
I haven't seen that. Just the XL, because the XLs, the ship kind of curves, so they couldn't hang a hammock on some of those. So that's the only caveat to bidding on an upgrade, is that you don't have control where you're going to go, and you may end up in a better cabin, but maybe not the location you want to be in because of what's around you.
And certainly there are two instances in which you should never, never, never bid on an upgrade. One, if you're in an accessible cabin, because you are not guaranteed to get another accessible cabin. So don't ever bid on an upgrade in that situation. Two, if you have booked two cabins next to each other for a reason, such as you want to be next to your parents, or you want to be next to your children, or your best friend, or whatever it is, don't bid on the upgrade, because there's no guarantee, A, both of you will win the upgrade, and B, even if you do win it, that you will still be next to each other.
Exactly. You can almost guarantee you're not going to be next to each other if you bid on an upgrade.
Pretty much.
So. Douglas says he wants to try the Utopia of the Seas, but that 3 to 4 nights is too short for a ship that size. So that is the feeling of a lot of people. So the Utopia of the Seas is an Oasis class ship, among the largest cruise ships in the world. Why would anybody send that ship out on a 3 or 4 night cruise? Because traditionally, the 3 and 4 night cruises have been the older ships that don't have all the bells and whistles. And if I don't have time to take a 7 night cruise, I don't get to experience the best of the best. So Disney kind of set a standard, with the Wish being the big, beautiful new ship that's doing 3 and 4 nights. So you can experience everything if you don't have time to do that 7 night cruise. So Royal Caribbean is saying, okay, here's the Utopia of the Seas. You want the best of everything? Here it is. And you can do it in 3 nights instead of having to book a 7. If you want to do 7 nights, we've got other Oasis class ships, and we've got the Icon that you can take.
Or if you have the budget, you can book a back-to-back, a 3 and a 4 together.
Yeah. So that's the feeling of that's the reasoning behind that. And Carnival has announced 2 more XL class ships. So I would not be surprised whatsoever if one of those XL class ships is going to do 3 and 4 rotation to compete with Royal Caribbean and Disney. And of course, Celebrity's doing them with the Celebrity Reflection out of Miami or Fort Lauderdale. She's doing 3 and 4 night cruises. That 3 and 4 night have become big big money makers, because in the same week you can sell that same cabin twice for more than you can if it's just a 7 night cruise. And that's why Port Canaveral is the busiest cruise port in the world. It's not because they have all of the biggest ships and everything. They're doing so many 3 and 4 nights that the ships are going in twice. So instead of putting 5,000 people on an Icon, on an Oasis class ship, you're going to put 10,000 people on an Oasis class ship on the same week, because they're coming in twice. So that's how Port Canaveral is suddenly how did Port Canaveral become so big? It's because they've got a lot of these 3. MSC is in there doing 3 and 4. Disney's in there. Royal Caribbean's in there. Carnival is in there doing 3 and 4 nights, but with different ships. So that is the thinking behind a ship that size. And what that's going to encourage you to do is, one, maybe book the ship again so you can do everything. Or now that you've seen everything that an Oasis class ship has, now I'm going to go book the Wonder, the Harmony, the Oasis, all these other ships, and go do it for a week. So that's the thinking behind the 3 and 4 night on these ultra big ships.
Although I have to say, I do really enjoy the way MSC does it, is they kind of alternate between 3s and 4s and 7s.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to do the short one, you can.
Yeah.
If you want to do a whole week, you can. In fact, you can combine a 3 with a 7, a 4 with a 7.
It's a great way to do it.
I really wish that some of the other cruise lines, sure, do the short ones, but kind of rotate in some 1 week ones here and there.
Yeah, MSC does not dedicate, like this is a 3 and 4 night ship. Like the MSC Seashore, you can go out on a 3 night, stay on it for 7. So now you've got a 10 night. You can do a 4 night into it. I think what they tend to do is they do like a 7, then a 4. No, they do it like a 7-4, 7-3, 7-4. Like, why don't they do that with the Wonder of the Sea? Like the other cruise lines could actually follow that same model, and it would be really awesome, because then you don't have to choose between, well, do I go on Utopia? Do I go on Wonder? I could just go on Utopia and do 7 nights. And then if I want to turn it into a 10 nighter, I just stay on it. That would be kind of cool. But, at the same time, you do make more money on that ship if you spin it around twice every single week instead of one time. So that's why they're.
But from a customer perspective.
Oh, yeah. MSC is great for that.
They rotate so you can choose.
Yeah.
Do you want the weekend cruise? Do you want the weekday cruise? Do you want a whole week cruise?
Exactly. And I'll disagree with MSC as quote unquote the worst cruise line.
Perhaps that's the worst cruise line for this person.
Obviously you did not have a good experience on MSC,
fine.
And there are a lot of people who have not had a good experience on MSC. But there's also the expectation. We were talking about that. We had a long discussion about that earlier, about how MSC is incredibly inconsistent. That's where they shoot themselves in the foot. The hotel operations are really inconsistent. The food and beverage really inconsistent. And that's what they need to improve. If they want to really make it, they're going to be the largest cruise line in the world within another year or two, because they're building so many ships. They're going to be larger than the Royal Caribbean very sure. I don't think a lot of people realize just how big MSC is. I think they're going to have 27, 28 ships very shortly. They know how to build ships. In fact, their Explora Journeys line, which absolutely amazing. I think they're gonna blow the waters out of the luxury cruise line industry. So, but you just have to have, the expectations when you go on MSC. Like you just said, Royal Caribbean is probably your favorite. Those are night and day comparisons. Royal Caribbean does everything to a certain level, especially the entertainment. The entertainment blows away pretty much everybody at sea. The level of service that you get on Royal Caribbean, very consistent. You go on any Royal Caribbean ship and you are pretty much going to get the same level of service. You're probably going to get the same level of food. The newer ships are going to have an elevated experience when it comes to the food, but you pretty much know what you're getting when you step on the Royal Caribbean. When you step on the MSC, you have to go in with, I may not get the best service and I may not get the best food, but dollar for dollar, MSC is a crazy value, amazing value. I was talking about that earlier. For the price of a Royal Caribbean balcony, I can put you in the yacht club on MSC. And now all of a sudden you've got 24-hour butler, you got your own lounge, you got your own pool, you got your own restaurant, you got Wi-Fi drinks included. The value is amazing on MSC. So you can't knock the value, but people have up and down experiences because the consistency is way off at MSC. If they can get that solved, they are going to start, putting up some serious numbers here in the U.S. They really will. Sammy just got off a 12-day Celebrity Ascent, Barcelona to Athens. Oh my goodness, you got on one of the newest ships. I'll tell you, those Mediterranean itineraries are absolutely stonking amazing. Of course, you always got to realize that Mediterranean it's very often very different than what we're used to in the Caribbean, where you step off and hey, you're right in the middle of town. Athens obviously is 45 minutes away from the port. Rome is 1 hour away from the port. So that is the caveat that you've got to trade off with. But Celebrity does an amazing job. We've got a whole slew of folks going to the Med on the Constellation, the Connie. in a few months. That's going to be absolutely amazing. And, you bring up Celebrity, Royal, this other person brought up Royal Caribbean. You can save 10% on all of your Royal Caribbean and your Celebrity cruises and your Carnival cruises. And you can save 8% on your Princess cruises by going through AARP rewards.
10% on Holland America as
and
well.
10% on Holland America as well. Now, with Princess, you don't even have to be a member of AARP. With the others, you do. But with Celebrity and Royal Caribbean, for example, you need to pay the deposit. But then after that deposit, you can use those AARP gift cards to pay for the rest of the cruise. And you get them 10% off through AARP. So a $500 card is $450. My client who was going on the Constellation, she used between 16 and 20 of them for 4 cabins. And she saved a good chunk of money. I want to say around $1,500 total, maybe across the 4 cabins, maybe more.
You do not have to be over 50 anymore to join.
No, anybody can join AARP. Now the only downside, like with Princess and Carnival, super easy. I just entered a card information and, there it is. But with Celebrity and Royal Caribbean, it can take up to 10 business days. So stupid. We've got to it really is stupid. We have to email these cards to Royal Caribbean and Celebrity, ask them to apply them to your booking. It is so stupid because there is a gift card button in the booking engine that we can't use. So if you're using them for Royal Caribbean and Celebrity, keep in mind that if you want to make your final payment with them, you got to send that final payment in like 14 days early just to make sure it's going to be credited.
And you cannot, with Royal Caribbean and Celebrity, you cannot use those gift cards once you're on the ship.
Yes. So they are only to be used for the ones that you buy directly from Royal Caribbean and Celebrity. I believe you can, but the ones that you buy from AARP, you can only use them for the cruise fare. You cannot bring them on board, and you cannot use them to settle your account or anything like that. But yeah, Jack said they got off to Mirabilia and they found the price. It's quite good. The buffet was awful. So yeah, we had a mixed bag. There were things that were really good on the seaside and the seashore. Of course, the pizza was amazing. The burrata was amazing. The mozzarella was amazing. But the second cruise we went on, they were running out of salad dressing, starting on the second day, and then by the last day they had one salad dressing. They weren't putting salad out for lunch. It was just kind of weird. But yeah, we found things that we enjoyed on the buffet.
We didn't go hungry.
Oh God, no. We did not go hungry on that ship.
Was it the best food we've ever had? Certainly not. By no means.
Yeah.
But we did not starve.
Yeah. So Mary is saying that she agrees with mixing up, the 3-4 with the 7s would be nice, but it can be scheduling issues with things like that. So yeah, I like the idea of mixing up the 3-4 with the 7s if you can, if you can totally make that work. Mental health worker. What about Disney cards? I don't think they have Disney.
Well, Disney. They do not. AARP does not have Disney cards,
no.
But if you buy other Disney cards from other places, yes,
you can use them on the cruise.
Those.
Yeah. As long as it says that they can be used for the cruise. Yeah, I have had clients send me Disney gift cards for their cruises. So yeah, absolutely. So, Jack, are you to understand that the AARP discount is only if you buy gift cards? So, no. Yes. Okay. I see there's 2 questions here. One, if you buy the gift cards from AARP for the cruise lines, you are getting the discount when you buy the card. So a $500 Royal Caribbean gift card is going to cost you $450. A $500 Princess gift card is going to cost you $460. That's where you're getting the discount. And then you take that gift card and you pay for your cruise fare. That's where the discount is. It's not necessarily an AARP. I mean, it is, but you're not getting a discount from the cruise line. You're getting the discount from AARP for buying the gift cards there.
So you're buying the gift cards for less than face value.
Exactly. But they can only be used for the cruise fare if you buy them from AARP. You cannot use them on Royal Caribbean and Celebrity. I think Princess and Carnival you can. I'd have to go back and look at the terms and conditions.
Yeah, definitely read those terms and conditions very carefully.
They're right there. They're right there, and they're in plain English. When you go to AARP's website and you go to those gift cards, click the terms and conditions. It's in very plain English. And right on Celebrity And Royal Caribbean, it says these cannot be used for onboard credit or to settle onboard accounts. So,
yeah, I don't know if.
So Jack is saying, would the military rate be better than the AARP discount? So you're confusing two different things. Those are two completely different things. You can combine them. The military discount is offered by certain cruise lines. And so that is when you book the cruise, you get a discount. When you go to AARP's website, you're buying gift cards at a discounted price, and then you're going to take those gift cards and apply them to the cruise fare. So there's two completely different things. You can actually combine them. So whatever the cruise line offers on the website has nothing to do with AARP. There is no AARP discount on any cruise line that I know of, unless you book through AARP's travel department. But I don't know if they even offer a discount, if it's just the cards. Amy is saying that Carnival, you can use the gift card for onboard credit. So there you go. I think Princess you can as well, because Princess is a Carnival company in Holland, probably. But yeah, you're welcome, Jack. So yeah, so it's two different things. You can take whatever discount the cruise line is giving you and then start applying those cards.
But it's only those 5 cruise lines: Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, Carnival, Princess, and Holland America. Just those 5 cruise lines. Our AARP does not offer any other discounted gift cards for any other cruise line.
Yeah.
At least at this point.
At this point, yeah. And so Alicia's saying she's purchased the gift cards while on board when you spend more than I planned. See that? There you go. But yeah, so we encourage, like pretty much all of our clients use the Princess. Now, the cool thing about Princess, and I don't know about Carnival, but Princess, you can even use it for the deposit. So you can literally pay your entire cruise right down to those last whatever dollars are, because most of the cards are sold in $100 and $500 increments. Once you get below 500, like my client who is going to Europe on the Constellation, she literally paid it all the way down to like $55 or something like that. Like she has 4 cabins on the Celebrity Constellation sailing to Europe this summer. And I want to say she paid it all right. So she paid the deposit for all 4, and then she used those gift cards and got them down to like $50 per cabin. And I think she saved around $1,500 across all of those cabins.
And I will. Like the other thing to bear in mind is always, until the cruise is completed and you are home, keep your records of those gift cards, because for some reason, if you have to cancel, your any refunds you might be due will come back to those gift cards. You need to keep those so you can use them for something else.
Yes. And they're all going to be digital. Mm-hmm. So what you want to do is you want to file those emails away. So what she's talking about is like, we use 10 gift cards to pay your cruise. And now you've got to cancel, and you've got to cancel outright. We're not going to change to another cruise. If you cancel outright and a refund is due to you, that refund is going to go back to the original payment method. Meaning that if you use a gift card, your gift card is going to be reloaded with the money that you can then use for something else. So you at least want to keep that information handy until the cruise is over. Like, what are the numbers on those cards? Mm-hmm. Another thing about Royal Caribbean Celebrity that's different than Princess, you have to use the entire card for one booking. So like with Princess, I can actually set up, say, $300 on the card, make the payment, go to another booking, set up $200 for the rest of it. Celebrity Royal Caribbean, it's one card, one booking. So if you've got a $500 cruise card, you've got to use the whole $500 for the one booking. There you go. Jack, another Jack. We got all kinds of Jacks here. Hi, Jack. If you transfer a cruise that you book direct, will you at least still get a commission? 100%. Great question. Thank you for that. Every cruise line has different rules on how long you are allowed to make that transfer. So number one, yes, we would get the commission from the cruise line if you made the transfer. Most cruise lines, you have to make the transfer within 15 to 30 days of making the booking. If it's more than, and before final payment, if you're past the final payment date, you cannot transfer the cruise. But if final payment date hasn't hit yet, you can transfer the cruise. And most cruise lines is 15 to 30 days. There are a couple that are 60 days. It just depends on the cruise line. And some of them you fill out an online form. Others you actually have to make a call to the cruise line to make that transfer. And not only do we get the commission, and thank you very much for asking about that, we try to give a little something back. You know, it might be onboard credit that we can add for you. It might be a gift when you show up in the cabin. We can't always do it, depending on like what that level of commission is.
And I will say some cruise lines do make it a little more difficult to give you gifts than others.
MSC makes it very difficult to actually buy gifts for our clients. We basically have to call. But yeah, so that's how it works. And then once you do that, let's just say it's Royal Caribbean, and now you go on to Royal Caribbean Cruise. You go ahead and book another cruise, or you get a next cruise certificate while you're on the ship. That is automatically assigned to us. So once you book something with a travel agent, every single time you book on a cruise ship, you automatically get assigned to us when you book something else. Godzilla, that's a great question. We get that all the time. Can you actually get a lower rate for a cruise than purchasing direct? Last cruise with an agent was the exact same price, and that's because the cruise lines control the rates. We have absolutely no control over the rate. So any cruise travel agent that says I can get you a better rate, they're doing one of two things. They're either giving you back some of the commission as a rebate on the cruise itself, or they may have some sort of a deal that they're working.
Or like us, we have some group cabins that we still have available that we bought a while ago.
Right. So like we have 5 cabins right now on the Norwegian Aqua sailing May 31st. Because we set this group up, I don't know, 6 months ago, our cabins are up to $1,000 cheaper than what you're seeing online. And that's only because we locked the rate 6 months ago. So that's another way that we can get the better prices. Like some of our colleagues have Icon of the Seas, much lower. Actually, Royal Caribbean's a good one. So Royal Caribbean, we have friends and family rates across a lot of the ships right now that they're allowing us to sell to guests. So like Icon of the Seas, I can get you in a balcony in some cases under $4,000, which is really low for the Icon of the Seas for a 1-week cruise. So those are some ways. We also have perks sometimes where we will get prepaid gratuities that are added, like Norwegian Cruise Line. Every so often, let's just throw in prepaid gratuities. We can also help you with Cruise First on Norwegian Cruise Line so that you can save $150 to $250 on your cruise. So there's ways that we can help you save money, but we cannot change the price. If Royal Caribbean says it's $1,000 for you to go on the Icon of the Seas, it is $1,000, whether you book through us or book through them. We just try to get you some perks. We're located in Orlando, Florida, but we have clients all over the United States. And actually, I even have a couple clients that are outside the United States. So you're welcome, Godzilla. Certainly reach out. Look, if you're watching us on TikTok, if you just simply click the logo, you will find the link tree in there. And oh gosh, you're in Winter Garden. Well, we could get together for coffee anytime. I have done that. I love it when we've got local clients, so I can go out and meet them for coffee. But you're watching me on TikTok, so just click the logo in the link tree. The very first link in that link tree is contact us. You set up a time, I'll hop on a call with you, and or we can just set up a time and meet up for coffee. More than happy to do that. I'm always down for meeting up for coffee. And if you're watching us on YouTube, there are links down in the description. And on LinkedIn, you can contact me through the profile, and on Facebook, I know there's links in there as well. But where's WalterTravel.com is the website. There is a contact us link. You just hit that and that'll get it to you. Our services are 100% free to you. So we love helping y'all with your cruises. So yes, let's talk about January. Why not? Our farthest out right now is what, December 26th? Mm-hmm. We've got a cruise booked for December 2026 right now. That's the farthest out that we've got so far. They are the winner for the longest range cruise. So yeah. Hey, Scott, how are you? Haven't seen you in a while. Oh, you just got back from Alaska on the Carnival Miracle. Love it. Love it. You mentioned us in the podcast yesterday. Thank you for that, Scott. We really appreciate that. Best TA hands down. Well, thank you so much. We are very proud, that we have built something pretty good here. We're very thankful for all the support. We are a travel partner with the Sean and Stef channel, our dear friend Stephanie Mullen, with the Cruise RX channel on YouTube, and the Joy of Cruising as well. And then Gary Bembridge, who, by the way, is going to be live in 7 minutes on YouTube talking about the Queen Anne. Gary Bembridge with Tips for Travelers. He is the largest YouTube channel with cruising. We are one of 2 travel agents in the United States that he recommends, and we're incredibly proud of that. We're incredibly proud that we built up a reputation that people want to work with us. So Scott, that is incredibly thankful to you for giving us that shout out. We really do appreciate it. You know, if you want to become a travel partner, we could always talk about that in the future as well. But yeah, thank you so much for that. And thank you to everybody who has supported us. I mean, y'all have been absolutely amazing. We're very proud of what we're building. We're very proud of what we're building, and we thank you all for allowing us to be your travel partner. Ruby, can you take a hydro flask on Carnival?
It will have to be empty when you bring it on board.
There you go.
So because some people try and sneak alcohol in their refillable water bottles or their hydro flasks or whatever. So it will most likely, they will ask you to have it empty, but you will be allowed to bring it and then fill it with whatever you want on the ship.
And that's why Rebecca is out here with me every day, because she has a lot of the answers, or she can look them up while she's sitting.
I have a refillable water bottle that I bring a lot, and Royal Caribbean made me dump out the water I had in it.
Yeah, because they don't know. It could be vodka.
Because we were traveling on the Brightline train, so I had water in it. But other cruise lines have not. But I would say generally, they're probably, a lot of them are going to ask you to have it empty, but you will be allowed to bring your refillable containers. Yeah.
And these are great for coffee. This is my little Yeti, coffee or hot tea. Because, you know, when you're walking around on the deck, especially if they don't have a lid on it, or, you know, the cup is really hot, I'm starting to bring the Yeti with me just
and
for
some
my
cruise lines
coffee
are
and
not
tea.
providing lids for their coffee cups anymore, because the lids generally tend to be plastic, and most cruise lines are trying to reduce the use of single-use plastics.
Exactly. So your coffee will get cold in a hurry if you're outside. Any concerns of traveling with a diabetic on a 7-day? So again, there is a special needs form for the cruise line, and I do believe diabetes is one of the questions that they're going to ask. Whenever you go to a restaurant on a cruise line, the first question they're going to ask you is, are there any allergies? Are there any concerns that we should know about? They're very good at handling that. When you go to a buffet, you can ask to speak to one of the chefs, and one of the chefs will walk you around. I think a lot of people don't realize that the cruise line do this, but a chef will walk you around the buffet and point out things that might be more, you know, diabetic friendly and things like that. So the only concern is make sure that they know. Make sure that everybody knows that the person is a diabetic. And, you know, can you please show, like if you're in a buffet or you're at one of the snack shops or something, just let them know, hey, you know, I am diabetic. What can I have safely?
And if you are insulin dependent, you will definitely need to talk to the special needs department, because they will have a sharps container. Yes. Make sure to have a sharps container in your room, and the little mini fridges that are in most cruise line cabins are not cold enough to store insulin. So they have special refrigerators that they can bring in if you need that to keep your medication cold. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Scott. Thanks for the comment on the cup, and I'm glad you had a few drinks on the ship in your tumbler. That's awesome. But yeah, so every cruise line has a special needs form, and we highly recommend, you know, if for any kind of a situation that you may be concerned about on a ship, you know, talk to your travel advisor or look up the special needs form for that particular cruise line, and let them know in advance that you're coming in. And the thing that Rebecca just mentioned is cruise lines don't necessarily have refrigerators. They call them coolers, and they're not cold enough to keep certain prescribed medication the proper temperature to keep them good. So if you're bringing on something like insulin that has to stay at a certain temperature, you need to let the cruise line know. They will bring an actual refrigerator, small refrigerator, into your room that can keep it the right temperature. That's vitally important.
Or at least provide you a space somewhere in the
or provide, you know,
keep it cold.
You know, maybe you have to go down to the medical center. Maybe they'll keep it down there in the medical center, so you have to go to the medical center to use it. But that's vitally important to know that those are not refrigerators on most cruise lines. They are now considered coolers. So they're good enough to keep your drinks cold, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Mental health worker, are there more adult autism-friendly cruise line. So the one right off the bat that I know is certified or recognized by autism groups is Royal Caribbean. They have a specific autism program, right down to shows and headsets and a lot. Like it is throughout the ship. So if they know before you come on the ship, they have a whole program developed.
And certain ships will have like specific shows that are designed for particularly people with noise sensitivity.
Yeah, like, and also light. Like they may
Yeah.
do like the entire ice skating show with the lights on, or a theater show with all the lights on, things like that. So I know Royal Caribbean specifically has a whole autism program. Some of the other cruise line are autistic friendly, but I can't
And certainly
think.
for the children, I'm less certain about the adult ones other than in Royal Caribbean.
Yeah. We had a conversation actually about this with one of my clients who has an autistic. He's 30 years old, and we actually had this whole conversation. They ended up choosing Princess for their cruise line.
And I'll say, if you definitely, one of the places I would go for research is on cruisecritic.com. There's a kind of, I forget whether they call it special needs or cruising with disabilities forum. And there will be people who can answer questions for you on whatever your particular need is.
And Scott over on YouTube is saying that on Carnival, they have a certain teddy bear and package for autism that is free. So there you go. So it's certainly something that we could do some more research for you if you want to like reach out and just talk about things. Hey, Rob, how are you? Good to see you. But yeah, if you want to reach out, we can certainly do a little bit more research. But in the case of the guest who's going on Princess, she said the noise situation isn't really a problem. Like he doesn't do earphones or earplugs. He'll just put his fingers in his ears. But yeah, different ships are different. Even like within the same, like I say, Royal Caribbean has these programs. Well, it might be different on different ships too, because there's only so much they can do on certain ships. So, but that's a great question, and that's a really good reason, whether it's me or one of my many colleagues, to use a travel advisor, because then we can go in and do some of that research for you and help you pick. And then like I got Kathy and Kelly over at Royal Caribbean. They're amazing. I don't know how they do it, but I'll send them questions. I'm getting answers within the hour. So I could ask them, point me toward, but I know Royal Caribbean has a whole autism section of their site, I do believe, or somewhere. I've got a whole bunch of information about them. So yeah, but that's cool to know about Carnival too. So they have a certain teddy bear and a package for autism that is absolutely free. That's awesome. And it's good to see that, because it can be, it can be a little bit daunting. I see all these wonderful TikToks of how Disney handles it in the parks, and it's just so fabulous to see how they handle that in the parks. And just we want cruising to be inclusive and open to everybody. And it may not be every ship. You might have to pick and choose specific ships for certain things, but for the most part, everybody should be able to find a cruise ship and a cruise that they can go on and enjoy. And that's like the main purpose of what we do. And sometimes not even a cruise. We talk about this is cruise chat, but we have had multiple instances where I book clients on a land tour instead of a cruise because of the specific things they wanted to do. At the end of the day, your time on land, your time in port is limited on a cruise ship. It might be 8 hours, it might be 14 hours. Whereas when you're staying there, and the things that these people wanted to do, required them to stay on land. So, okay, so we've been doing this for 90 minutes. I've got a appointment coming up at 1 p.m. Eastern, and Gary Bembridge is about it. Actually, he is live right now on YouTube, Tips for Travelers. So if you want to know about the Queen Anne, the brand spanking new Queen Anne, switch over to Gary and watch that show. That's actually what we're going to do. We're going to break down and watch that for lunch while I get ready for my 1 o'clock. Folks, if we can help you in any way, I'll say it once again, our services are 100% free to you. You can just reach out to us at where'swaltertravel.com, or YouTube, you can use the links in the description. TikTok, just click my logo and use the links in the link tree. It's super, super easy. If you're watching us on LinkedIn, go up to my profile, contact me there. And if you're watching us on Facebook, I know there's links there. Or just go to where'swaltertravel.com. It's super easy. Where'swaltertravel.com. It rolls off the tongue. And we'd love to help you with your land cruise,
leave out the exclamation
luxury.
point, though.
What?
Leave out the what is it?
I don't know.
In where's, you don't do the thing.
Oh, the apostrophe. Yeah,
Yes,
where'swaltertravel.com.
that's what I was
Yeah,
talking
yeah. So anyway, guys, have a fabulous, for those of you watching in the United States, have an amazing rest of your Memorial Day weekend. And for those of you around the rest of the world, it's one of my favorite things about this, that we can talk to you guys all over the world. So if we can help you, just reach out. Where'swaltertravel.com. Have an awesome rest of your Sunday, everybody. And we'll see you next Sunday right here. And Thursday night, we're going to be talking to Venture Ashore on YouTube. So come join us. Have a good day, everybody.